Hey. Hey guys, it's after hours. It's December, and you know what that means. It's time for the 25 days of Wipmas. 25 vlogs of Wipmas. 25 whips of Christmas. What am I doing? The 25 whips of December. That's what it is. No, the 25 whips of Christmas. Okay, we're here. We're doing it. After hours, my energy level is like... So excuse me if I'm a little all over the place, but I just wanted to sit down, chill out with you for a little bit, and let you know some stuff I've been working on. The first thing, first whip I'm going to talk about today is actually a whip that I'm working on for a customer. So these are pretty cool. We get a lot of really interesting people come into the shop, and they often have some very peculiar requests. Now, a lot of the time we can't take all of them on because I am just one human being and I haven't got an army of knitters yet. So when people come in with specific requests, I have to be careful about how much I take on, because I have been known in the past to just say yes to everything, and then I end up disappointing people when I can't get it done. So I'm trying to be a lot more strict about how many things I accept. Unfortunately, that means that my books, my calendar, fills up really fast. So these were given to me ages ago, and I got to them as soon as I could, and try and be good about telling the customer, the client, sort of when to expect that I'm going to start it and when it's going to be finished and all that kind of stuff. This one's really cool, and I don't know how to explain this. So this person's husband, I believe, is someone they know anyway, has very cold feet, and they really struggle to find socks or slippers that suit them, that feel comfortable on their feet, that keep them warm, that kind of stuff. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, and if you're out there and you're watching this, please feel free to comment if you were the person who brought it in. I'm not going to name names or anything, but anyway, so this is the story. This is the slipper. It's a beautiful slipper, and it's got a very funky construction. Look at this. It's so strange. The story is, and I'm gonna call these my Chinese grandma socks. I'm not sure if it actually was someone's grandma in China, whether it was a Chinese grandma or whatever, but all I know is that these were made in China by someone's grandma, as far as I know. And this lovely lady who brought them in, whose friend's feet is really cold, can't seem to find a sock or slipper that fits them the same. Now, to try and avoid this situation, I tried to show them loads of other slippers that were similar to this, slipper socks online, things, you know, people had already made, but we couldn't find anything with the exact same construction. And so for her to be happy, what she was requesting was that I take this slipper and that I create a pattern for it so that she can then knit them or find someone to knit many, many pairs of these slippers. I was a little bit nervous at first, but having looked at it, I very quickly figured out the construction and was quite confident that I could write up a pattern for it. So hopefully by the time you watch this, the pattern will be available on my online store, and hopefully Ravelry if I can figure that out. But that was one of the conditions. She said it's totally fine if I want to sell the pattern on and stuff like this, because this lovely lady who originally made these, the Chinese grandma, she passed away and the pattern died with her. So if you know of the original pattern for these socks, slippers, that's amazing. Let me know. We couldn't find it. We scoured high and low. I scoured. The person who brought the slippers in scoured and couldn't find it. I imagine it's one of those amazing things where it's just a recipe that they've had in their head and that they have knitted for years, probably passed down generation to generation. And it's like your favorite sock recipe. You don't even think about it. It's an amalgamation of so many different sock patterns that you don't even really know where it came from. So that's honestly, that's what's inspired these socks. That's what's inspired the pattern. This is my version so far. So you can see they're very similar. And it's a very cool construction. Let me just sort of walk you through it. You cast on here, which is really cool. And then you knit this like that. And then you cut the yarn. And then you join on this piece. You pick up the stitches here. You knit these stitches. And then you pick up along here. Then you knit back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until your piece of knitting is from here to here. Then you cast on these stitches, and then you go round and round while you're decreasing on the front. And that's all there is to it. It's a very interesting fabric because it's a very tight gauge. So it looks like stockinette. It's actually 1x1 rib. It's 1x1 rib everywhere. So it gives it that very slipper quality. I believe this sample was knitted on a double knit. That is what I am knitting my version on. That's what the pattern's written for. And the gauge is very small. I have quite loose tension, so I always have to go down a few needle sizes to get my tension right. But for this, I'm knitting double knit on 2mm needles. I found that I could actually go up to a 2.25 and it didn't make that much of a difference. So to get gauge, I had to be on a 2mm, but then a 2.25 was actually okay. So I went with a 2.25. But everybody's gauge is different, so make it to gauge. Everybody's tension is different, sorry, so make it to gauge. You may only have to use a 3mm, 3.5. I don't know. I don't know what your tension's like. I don't know if you're a tight knitter. So I was gonna make a really rude joke about like, I don't know how loose you are, but I'm not sure that you're the right audience for that. So yeah, I'm really excited about this slipper sock. It's looking really, really good. I can't wait to give it to her, give her the pattern and show her the sample and everything. This, by the way, ooh, losing a DPM there. This, by the way, is West Yorkshire Spinners Essentials Double Knit. Used to be called Air Valley Double Knit. Some of the labels still say Air Valley Double Knit, but all the new labels say Essentials Double Knit. And it is 75/25 BFL nylon. No, it's not. Excuse me. It's 75% wool, 25% nylon, and there is definitely BFL in it. I think it's like 25% or something. BFL, and the rest is English wool, British wool. I love it. It's a very hard wearing DK. And it means that you can pop it in the washing machine, no problem. I wouldn't obviously put it on a hot cycle, but this yarn honestly holds up so well in a washing machine. So anyway, this is my little sock. It's coming along really nicely. I believe the original is actually a twisted rib, so that's what I'm gonna suggest that you do on the pattern. But I cannot be bothered with twisted rib, so I just did a normal 1x1 rib, and it's looking really good. I don't know, did I do this? Did I squish it? Did I open it up for you? Yeah, I think I did. I can't remember. But yeah, it's very satisfying. That tight gauge, very satisfying. My other whip that I've got going on for customers right now also involves essential DK, also involves socks. Now these may look like the biggest socks in the world to you. Yeah, they're pretty big. And the reason is because there is a lady with dementia who has really swollen feet, and she has a favorite pair of socks. It's the only pair of socks that she'll wear, and it's the only pair of socks that feels comfortable for her. And in these cold winters, she needs something for her feet. So her friend brought in the sock. I measured it up, and now I'm making a couple of duplicates for her. This is exactly the kind of thing I wish I had an army of knitters to pass on to, because it is a very simple pattern. It's just a standard sock, but the measurements have to be right. So that's something I really need to do, actually, is to put out a call for knitters, people who want to take on knitting jobs, preferably in the local area, because we have a lot of people that come in, ask for things to be knitted, and obviously I don't have the time to do it. And if it's not something that needs speciality, you know, fiddling with, it just doesn't seem worth my time doing. Even though I love knitting, and I would love to make everybody's things that they need doing. But yeah, so I'm making some socks. They're very simple, and she just wanted some little colored bits on the top, so I'm busy working on that. That should make someone happy. Really looking forward to it. It's one of those things that it's like really nice, and I don't charge a whole lot for. Maybe I should charge more because my time is so precious, but everybody's time is precious. Everybody's time is precious. Anyway, so that's been the 25 whips of Vlogmas. Oh my god, what is this section called? So yes, thank you for hanging out with me after hours. I am a very sleepy and tired bunny. All of my makeup is coming off, and I'm ready to curl into bed. I hope you guys are having a wonderful December, and I will see you tomorrow. Am I so bad at this? It's because it's a front-facing view, isn't it? I'm just staring at myself. Sorry. Let's try this again.